What's up guys, it's Tom here from Fluxxt Group. So we're going to be doing something a little bit different today for Voices. It's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month and we're out in sunny Manchester speaking to men about their mental health. Let's go. So, when was the last time that you actually spoke to one of your male friends about your mental health?
Oh man, I'd probably say a couple of months ago.
Yeah?
Yeah, probably, if I'm honest, yeah, about a couple of months ago.
How often do you speak to your male friends about it?
Not a lot. No? Maybe after a couple of drinks when everyone gets a bit more, you know what I mean, everyone lets loose a bit, you know. So I'd probably say about that.
Not very frequent at all. I suppose I'm a uni student, so the closest we get to talking about mental health is probably to do with assignments and stress. But in terms of how we're actually doing personally, it's kind of like an assumption that we're good because we're males, so we don't really delve into that side of things. But yeah, not really.
I've spoken quite a bit over it, because I've had issues with it. Yeah, I think it's important to get it out there, and I do. We've got an apprentice and other guys that work for us, so we always sort of like ask if you're all right. But I know it's like a bit of a stigma. You try a bit hard over it, don't you? But I'm probably the opposite.
Yeah.
I'm quite lucky, to be honest. I'm in a band with some pals. We do speak about mental health often. So I think it was probably about a week ago was the last time I had that conversation. But then again, like, I consider myself lucky I get to have that conversation so often with my pals.
I think personally the last time was probably about 2 weeks ago. So my housemate and I, we have a very open dialogue when it comes to mental health because we both had our own kind of mental health struggles in the past. So you try to have an open dialogue, but it's never enough. It's never as often as it should be, so it takes one person to push. But I don't know, I think we're just all taught as men to bury that inside, and we're taught that actually it's a sign of weakness, which I think is a shame.
So obviously there is a lack of conversation in the male community speaking about mental health. And why do you think that is?
I don't think we're usually prepared with the kind of language that we need to be able to articulate things like that. But usually it's never as simple as I'm feeling good or I'm feeling bad. The actual spectrum of emotions between the two is actually a really complicated thing to actually explain in a way that people will understand clearly. So half the time I don't think the vocabulary is out there.
I think there's an assumption that men are supposed to be brave and essentially they can't express their emotions. So I think that's an inherent reason why men don't speak up.
Just be hard, really. Just to sort of like save face and don't show your weakness. Yeah. And that was it, really. Stand your ground type of stuff. That's how it sort of like inbred into you, isn't it? Yeah. As a bloke. But as things, sort of like progress, then it probably less than. I mean, there's guys that I know that real hard fellas that are probably struggling stuff like that. But I think people are getting a bit more open to it, aren't they? Yeah. But I don't think there's a problem with it. I don't think there is. I think I think you're more of a man if you spill your guts a bit. Do you know what I mean?
You're right.
I think it's a collection of small reasons. I'd say, like, I guess personally speaking, before, like, my pals led by example, I think you just felt the need to sort of put on a hard exterior. Seem dependable, seem cool, seem reliable. So I think that's what would be that's my answer there. Yeah.
I was going to say, I think it's like a mixture of shame. I think, like Sim was saying, how men, you're always taught like you have to like be really tough and not have emotions or have weaknesses or things like that. So anything that could be perceived in that way, you try and push it away, or you kind of focus on other things. So I think that's like kind of a big problem, a big part of it.
Yeah, I think a part of it is also to do with gender and our perceptions of gender. I think that's what I was saying about like weakness. If you think what you were saying about shame, I think ultimately people assign showing emotions to a degree of femininity and assign that with weakness, and therefore that's something that if you are a man who is taught to want to be like the pinnacle of all men, then that's something that you want to reject, or subconsciously, or for some people consciously.
I agree.